bronze medal game between Mexico and China. Pre-game ceremony will begin shortly. Welcome to day number 5 of the 2025 WBSC U-18 Women's World Cup. Our first game today, the bronze medal game between Mexico and China. Let's introduce the players for each team. First of all, for Mexico, leading off, playing shortstop, number 12, Jenica Silvas. Hitting second, the second baseman, number 6, Isel Avalos. The number 3 hitter will be the right fielder, Karina Rodriguez. Hitting fourth will be the designated player, number 3, Nina Montenegro. The number 5 hitter is the pitcher, number 1, Analia Lopez. Hitting sixth is the third baseman, number 13, Dana Vieira. Hitting seventh is the center fielder, number 99, Riley Pliego. The number 8 hitter is the catcher, number 7, Ava Tapia. Hitting ninth is the right fielder, number 24, Amy Cornelius. And the left fielder, in the flex position, number 22, Leila Nunez. And the rest of the players for Team Mexico. The head coach for Team Mexico, Adriana Carrillo Perez, and the rest of the coaching staff. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for the home team of Team China. Leading off and playing left field, number 2, Yarue Wang. Hitting second, the first baseman, number 19, Min Lin. The number 3 hitter will be the second baseman, number 11, Yali Wang. Fourth, center fielder, number 1, Shintayan Lee. The number 5 hitter is the right fielder, number 22, Dong Lee. Hitting 6th will be the designated player, number 8, Yi-Chin Ju. Hitting 7th, third baseman, number 34, Ziyao Han. Hitting 8th will be the catcher, number 3, Jia Yi Chin. The number 9 hitter is the shortstop, number 6, Yue Sun. And the starting pitcher for Team China, number 39, Meng Huan Zhou. And the rest of Team China. The head coach for China is Li Ping Yu, and the rest of the coaching staff. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the umpire crew for the bronze medal game. Behind the plate and the crew chief, Naomi Erdahl from the USA. At first base, Koji Ogawa from Japan. At second base, Mark Craver from the USA. And at third base, from Germany, Megan Hilton. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to play the national anthems for both teams. If you would, please stand and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem for Mexico, followed by the one for China.
Oklahoma City's alive. It's so fresh. It's so new. Excitement and adventure are waiting for you. With family or friends or a significant other, there's so much to do. Seek out and discover. Attractions, museums, pro sports, and a zoo. Shopping, libations. And did we mention the food? And dozens of districts, each vibe worth exploring. With surprises galore, how could it get boring? Oklahoma City invites your whole crew to come see for yourselves and check out what's new.
Welcome back to Devon Park in beautiful Oklahoma City. My name is Chris Abbott, joined by Amanda Fama for this one, the bronze medal game between China and Mexico. Just another picture-perfect day here. 22 degrees as we get set for an 11 a.m. local start. A little bit of humidity in the air as well. And a little light breeze from right to left. These teams will meet for the second time in the tournament. Here's the lineup for Mexico today. Jenica Silvas is the shortstop. Isel Avalos is at second with Karina Rodriguez in the 3 spot. Nina Montenegro moves up into the cleanup role. Analia Lopez will start on the mound, and she is batting 5th. Dana Vieira in the 6th spot. Riley Palejo, Eva Tapia, and Amy Cornelius will round things out. Defensively for China, this has been the lineup pretty much all week. Wang Yuri in left, Li Xintian in center, and Li Dan in right. Pan Zhiyao at third, Sun Yua at short, Huang Yali and Lin Min on the right side of the infield. Chen Jiayi will do the catching for Zhou Meng Huen. The umpires for today's game. Naomi Erdahl is at home plate from the United States. Koji Ogawa of Japan, there he is at first. Mark Craver of the United States at second, and Megan Hilton of Germany at third base. Well, Amanda, we saw these two teams play each other just a couple of days ago, and it was a game that China was really in control of from the outset. What do we expect here today? Anything different, or does Mexico have a better game plan?
I think we're going to see two completely different teams than what we saw earlier in the tournament. China, we saw them have a good road after that, and Mexico kind of up and down for them, but they lost against USA last night, but had a really good outing. So for China, if Meng Wen can really utilize her changeup, and she has actually had 28 pop flies result in outs, and so if she can stick to that game plan and keep Mexico kind of off balance and on their front foot, she'll be successful. But for Mexico, what they did great last night against USA was they had a game plan. So to your point, Chris, I think they have switched gears. They've had a different mindset since then, and they're going to have to really execute when they get runners on. They've left too many on base. So if they can do that and change their game plan from the rest of the tournament, then they'll come out, I think, with a win against China.
Yeah, that's a big takeaway, is Mexico not being able to cash runners. Zhou Meng Wen on the mound for China in this game. 18 innings pitched for her so far in the tournament. That's second only to Czechia's Nikola Skardova. And anytime China's needed something on the mound, they've gone to Zhou.
They have, and that's why I think she's starting.
Jenica Silvas has been the leadoff spot all week. We've got a slight delay as China is complaining a little bit about the pitching mounds. And that look from Naomi Erdahl, that's normally the where's the grounds crew look, but I don't know if they're going to call them out here or not. I haven't seen any complaints at all during the week, but it does seem for one reason or another, Zhou is not comfortable on the mound out there right now. Is it packed too tight? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. They're kind of digging at it, so maybe a little, I don't know, maybe a little raised.
Yeah.
Giving her a little bit of trouble, but...
Meanwhile, you've got some schools in attendance here in Oklahoma City this morning, and I'm sure we'll see even more young softball fans here. And there's some of the Czech team that we were just telling you about seeing themselves on the big screen.
That's always, I think, good for the other teams to be able to come and watch. You know, your tournament has ended, but you're also still a softball fan. You want to see the results, and so it's where all the fun happens afterwards. Pressure's off, and you're having a good time, so...
There's the team from Chinese Taipei. Still lots of smiles despite the 8th place finish. And, you know, we talked about it yesterday during the placement round. It was up in the air depending on the result of that last game. They could have finished as high as 6th. They could have finished as low as 8th. A lot of parity near the bottom. Actually, honestly, a lot of parity throughout the event. I think the two teams in the gold medal final, Japan and the United States, have set themselves apart. But otherwise, a lot of parity here. And we saw that reflected in the records.
Well, I think that's what the tournament is about. Yes, maybe Japan and USA kind of separate themselves, but other than that, you really didn't know what was going to happen. And then if one person won, they could be 8th or they could be 5th. It was actually a really, really exciting tournament.
So the delay continues here as we await the grounds crew, but there's certainly something not to the liking of Zhou Mengwen on the mound, and it has to do with the front of the rubber. So maybe, yeah, a lip there.
Sometimes the ground tends to be loose and they want it more packed, or we've seen, I think, a few very limited illegal pitches with pitchers sliding that front foot off the mound. None from these teams, at least, but yeah, it's always interesting. You can see they're kind of picking, sticking the dirt. It could also be too damp, maybe, a little overwatered.
Well, the grounds crew is on site, including Troy, the head of operations here at Devon Park and USA Softball. So, Amanda, from a player's perspective, when something like this happens and you're geared up and you're ready to start the game, and now we've got a 5+ minute delay in getting going, what does that do to you as a player?
Your adrenaline's pumping for sure, especially when you get out there. If you're on defense, you're taking those ground balls. You know, and this is what I like to see China do, is don't linger around, you know, throw the ball around, because then your nerves really start to pent up. And so for them to throw the ball around, they're still staying loose, but it's also like, hey, we're ready to go. And she's thrown a few pitches too, so it's not like, hey, I got out there first go around. And yeah, it looks like they're packing it in a little harder.
So to your point, it was probably a little loose out there. And they've got the leaf blower out there to put some, maybe you're right, maybe it was damp and loose. But I mean, we're getting pretty granular with it out there now.
Well, you think too, how much of a beating the ground takes. I mean, repetitive, especially we talked last night about how many events are actually on this field and at this park. And so, I mean, just for the ground to look that great, and yeah, they're trying to pack it in a little bit, especially with mostly right-handed pitchers playing off the mound this week. That area in front of the mound, when the pitchers kind of pivot and land, tends to kind of get hard. You can fill it in and stuff.
Getting to work on it, that's for sure. It's yeah. It looks like now maybe they've got a knife
digging out a rock or something. Yeah. It must have been something big enough to cause a type of disturbance in her foot. So you play on so many fields as an international player, you're not too picky unless it's really presenting a problem. So it'll be interesting to see what it is.
In the meantime, the fans supporting Mexico, loud and proud this morning. And if you're just joining us a few minutes late, we have not started this bronze medal game yet, as the grounds crew is working on the pitching mount. And the Japan fans are making a day of it. I tell you, going around the ballpark here this week, no matter win or lose, everyone's having a great time. I don't know if I'm too old to say this, but like the vibes have been immaculate, you know. So it's been a real positive environment here in Oklahoma City this week.
Yeah, the atmosphere has been great, and that makes me so happy for the players too, because you don't want to go somewhere and not have a great experience, but every single person around is pumped up. It's almost like there were no enemies when the games were going on. I'm like, hey, you guys are competing for a medal, but it's been really great.
And the food here in Oklahoma City, oh my goodness. I mean, not a place you'd want to be with a gluten allergy, that's for sure. All the homemade stuff is unbelievable. I think I put on 10 pounds since getting here.
Well, you're also from Canada. Not that that's a bad thing, but
trying to say the food's better in the South? I agree with you. Lilia Lewis supporters for Japan out there. What are they in the suite? What that looks like? They're in the top row. I thought they were up in the suite. But yeah, everyone here in Oklahoma City at the park, the volunteers, the host committee, always a smile. The folks working the front gate when we come in the morning, like always brighten your day. You can't say enough good things.
Well, they treat you. We've said this a million times at the hotel. It's like family. It really is, and that it makes me so happy as a former player. Like something that I have been so passionate about, to know that people on the outside or the other side that make all of this happen, like they have that same feeling, and it makes it a little more special once you've retired. You're like, hey, this is bright. It like made someone's day, me just playing.
And I think they're bringing out a little more dirt to put down. So, yeah, it must be loose out there. They tamped it at first. We're here playing for the title of world champion. We will later on determine our world champion, a game between the United States and Japan. The United States will be the home team in that game by virtue of their win a couple of nights ago over Japan. A come-from-behind win, so that'll be exciting later on. And there's a medal at stake here this morning. China staying loose with calisthenics, a dance. Not sure what's going on there, but they were all doing it in sync. Yeah.
Infield and the outfield. And that's what they have to be doing, you know? Let's still have fun. They came out loud in their national anthem and really peppy, and then that little dance. It's fun. They're staying loose, but also staying focused. And we got a little bit of clay now going on the mound. So maybe a little wet. We saw them pour some water on it. But, hey, softball capital of the world. They're going to do whatever you want for that field to be in immaculate condition.
So Joe's going to get out there and test it out. Let's see if she gives a nod of approval. This is generally what China does before they start the game. So I think we're just moments from first pitch here, Amanda. So cheers to the grounds crew, Troy and his team at Devon Park. Something I've got to do before I leave here is also check out the National Softball Hall of Fame. That's located on the grounds here. Of course, the host of the NCAA Women's College World Series, the softball competition for the LA 28 Olympics will be played here. And like I said this earlier this week, every tournament should be played here. That's my take on that. So, all right, after a 9-minute field maintenance delay, we are ready to go in the bronze medal game at the WBSC U-18 Women's Softball World Cup. Jo Meng-Wen on the mound for China, and she will start Jenica Silvas off with a strike.
Mexico needs to go up there with a late outside approach. Meng-Wen has that outside curveball or inside for lefties, and if they can wait on that and then sit on a changeup, they're going to be successful.
There's a changeup, and that's sent into the gap. That's all the way to the fence. Silvas is around first, and she is into second with a stand-up. Well, no, she didn't stand up. A leadoff double to get this going, her second double of the tournament.
And sitting on that changeup, Chris, like we were just talking about, that's what Mexico has to do, and they're doing it early, and they're hitting it hard. So that is a great momentum and confidence boost for Mexico. But going back to the point, they need to be able to execute the rest of this inning and get Silvas in.
Your point about sitting on a changeup was well taken by Jenica Silvas. And now Avalos with a perfect bunt. And the throw is wide from Pan. And Mexico will open the scoring.
Avalos putting down a great bunt, and Pan, the throw is just off to the right, and that's something she needs to take a little more time with and throw the ball right at the second baseman coming over his chest, because that's essentially a sacrifice bunt. That is giving you a free out, and so China needs to do a better job on their throws and kind of settle down, as I think coach is probably telling them right now.
Yeah, after the delay, Mexico comes out swinging. And, yeah, a perfect bunt from Avalos put the pressure on the defense. And China, you have to consider them the favorite coming in. But to your point, Mexico has been getting better throughout the event. They've changed their lineup significantly from what it was at the start of the event. And Are they building towards something exciting here? Mexico snuck into the Super Round by virtue of a win in its last opening round game. They were 0-2 through the first day. And now, still early, but looking to jump up and snatch that bronze medal away from China. So Karina Rodriguez with a runner in scoring position. She's the team's leading hitter. And is in an 0-2 count. The big thing we've noticed with Jo Meng Wen all week is her ability to paint the corners. Rodriguez with a heck of an eye in a 2-strike count.
Meng Wen going low, and I like that. They're trying to keep the ball on the ground in the infield, ideally to the left side of the field. So her going in and low is really good pitch calls.
Rodriguez will flare this out into short right field. Lee Dan, fighting the sun, will make the catch. Absolutely no cloud cover in Oklahoma City today.
And Meng Wen again forcing Mexico to pop up. With the pop up, we see Rodriguez early and really chasing that low pitch. Keeping the fly balls is limiting runners, giving them time and making it more easy out. So Meng Wen doing a really good job, especially after that error earlier.
Nina Montenegro, one of those players I talked about who wasn't in the everyday starting lineup at the beginning of the event, now batting cleanup in the DP spot. She's 3 for 8. She's got a triple. And to the point we've talked about before, they need people who can drive in runs. So maybe at times throughout the lineup, sacrificing defense for offense, but we'll see. Shot left field side, and that's foul.
The general rule is if you can hit, you're going to play, and we saw Mexico really come out strong against Puerto Rico in their first game of the tournament, and they kind of tapered off. So that's where I think the coaching staff was like, whoever can perform and put runners on is who we need to have in the lineup. But again, we've seen it switch so much, so anyone that can do the job needs to be the one that's in.
Yep, riding the hot hand. Popped up to second. Wong took a step back, and now there's 2 down.
And Wong kind of crossing up the last 2 Team Mexico hitters, going in, out, and then the changeup, and we see her jamming or coming inside again and hitting off that handle. That's almost been a theme of all the teams, kind of hitting off the handle. But again, another pop fly is an easy out for China.
Analia Lopez is the starting pitcher for Mexico, batting in the 5 spot. We've seen more pitchers find their way into the middle of the batting order this week, and we've already talked about it. We love it.
I love it.
That's a great spot from Joe. Looking to pitch around the 1 run off the throwing error. She's gotten a fly ball and a pop-up, and in tight over the corner. Lopez turned away from that one, Amanda, but it was a strike.
And that's all that matters, too. But again, she's keeping Mexico guessing. You're going out, you're going in, you're going up, and painting right at the edge of the strike zone. So it's making them a little bit nervous, and then they're going to start to chase if things get a little too close. So that's a good spot.
She's also really good at breaking that ball back across the plate against the left-handed hitter. We've seen her get a couple of strikeouts on that pitch. Go outside. Too far. Full count. And this is shot into the right center field gap. Great piece of hitting. Top Lopez with the second double of the inning for Mexico.
Lopez was on that pitch as soon as it was released. She gets her hands out, but her barrel's down. And again, that's when you're able to get your barrel down, that's when you're going to hit a gap-to-gap versus a rollover. And she does well, not only with that, but getting herself on second base to be a potential another run. So really good job. With Mexico, we haven't seen hard hits. Last night they hit okay against Team USA, but they're taking that same hitting approach and already going at China early in the game, the first inning still.
Well, the benefit of facing the USA pitching before coming into this game can't be understated either. First pitch to Donna Vieira will hit her, and it's runners at first and second. The runner at second now is Nina Montenegro after the temporary pitcher rule.
And this just comes too high and too inside, jams her butt. Because it's just the elbow, it's not considered a strike, so that's painful. But hey, at this point, I'll take it and you get yourself on.
And Riley Palejo, who's been very strong here throughout the super round, coming in. First pitch swinging.
Well, you mentioned playing USA last night, and everyone was like, oh, this game doesn't matter because USA was already in the finals and Mexico essentially in the bronze medal game. But for Mexico, that is a huge advantage because you're saying you're facing the best pitchers in the world. They're faster, their balls break more, so Mexico really had a great practice.
Palejo squibbered to short. This is going to be a tough play for Soon, and she can't make it. And Riley Palejo, one of a handful of 16-year-olds spread across this tournament, making waves for their team.
And it doesn't matter how she makes those waves. This ball's not hit very hard, but that's why it's such a tough play. And Soon does well getting to her right, not in time. If she's able to charge that ball a little bit more, regardless, that's a tough play. But Palejo doing what she's been doing for her team, and that's what they need, is that leader offensively to keep this rally going.
Palejo now 5 for 11. 4 of those hits have come against China.
Doesn't hurt when you're hot off the team you've been hot off of all week.
Tapia with the bases loaded. No hits for Tapia this week. What a time to get it. Popped up and caught by Pan to end the threat. However, a huge first inning for Mexico. They'll put 2 on the board and put China on the back foot right away in this bronze medal game from Oklahoma City.
We go to the bottom of the first inning. Mexico with the early lead by the score of 2-0.
Well, China takes the proverbial punch in the face in the top of the inning. They'll look to answer back in the bottom. Wang Yari will lead things off. Lin Min, love to see this, up in the 2 spot after dominating in the 9-hole all week. Wang Yali is batting 3rd. Li Xintian, the cleanup hitter. Li Dan batting 5th with Ju Yi Chen, the designated player, hitting 6th. Pan Zhiyao, Chen Jai, and Sun Yua will round out the bottom of the order. Leila Nunez opens the game in left field for Mexico with Riley Palejo and Amy Cornelius joining her in the outfield. Jenica Silvis, Isel Avalos up the middle. Donna Vieira and Karina Rodriguez on the corners, and Ava Tapia will be catching for Analia Lopez. Great numbers from Lopez in 14 and a third. She has certainly established herself as the ace of this Mexican staff. And she is staked to a 2-0 lead early on, and we can't understate how important that's got to be for the confidence heading out there.
Definitely takes a little weight off your shoulders. Not much, but when your team comes out offensively and puts 2 on the board, got a little bit of wiggle room.
This Chinese team, though, has been one of the best hitting lineups here this week. They have not seen Lopez, who didn't appear in the super round game between these 2 clubs a couple of days ago. And Lopez will start Wang Yari off with a strike.
And that's going to be tough for Mexico to defend, I think, this offense. Mexico has 13 defensive errors, and they really need to clean that up if they want to come out with a bronze medal.
Lopez loses the handle, and Takes a piece out of the backstop here. When you're looking at team batting averages, China comes in with a .352 team average. That's second only to the United States with a, this is hard to believe, U.S. has a .393 team batting average. 7 home runs for the Americans. They're flying high coming in tonight.
What that goes to show you, too, is a powerful, dominant Team USA. And then you have China just right up there with the batting average, a different type of style of hitting, but effective.
Lopez will get Wong on the changeup. Tapia throws down to complete it, and there's one away.
The next batter will be the first baseman, number 19, Min Lin.
That's just the second strikeout for Wong Yeri this week.
And again, utilizing that low pitch, that changeup, it changes the eyesight, and those low pitches are hard to keep your hands out and down. So really good job coming out with that changeup early, kind of setting a tone like, hey, you're going to see it. If you can hit it, go for it. But if you can't, you're sitting down.
Lin Min up in the 2 spot, 5 for 13 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Big home run in the game against Mexico. And that's a couple now from Lopez that have eluded Tapia behind the plate.
And that could be her nerves a little bit still kicked in, overthrowing, but those are the type of little things that she needs to focus on. You can't, especially with the runner on, you can't be having wild pitches like that. So 2 already, nothing to worry about, but she needs to lock in a little more if she wants to get that high pitch.
That's a great spot right there. Good answer from Analia Lopez. She uses the changeup on 2 strikes again, but Min will leave it alone. Up high, and you know, it was one thing to talk about Lopez, but Tapia seems to be struggling with the rise ball.
Yeah, so either the spin or it's breaking in a different spot than it normally breaks, and that pitch is just not working. So now 3 times, that's going to be crucial. If she can't get her rise ball down and not have that in her line of pitches, that could be trouble for Mexico.
So something to watch as we go ahead. A walk to Lin Min. So a 1 on, 1 out for Huang Yali, the second baseman.
Yeah, and she's struggling with getting that ball up, so she's going to have to focus left and right.
Bunted back to Lopez, covering and getting twisted around his Avalos, but she makes the play.
Well, and that's what I want to see China personally do more, is play the small ball, especially if they're getting fooled on this changeup, because Mexico having those 13 errors, China also being fast. So that's going to add a lot more pressure, and we almost saw a throw get away from Mexico there. So good idea bunting. I'd like to see it more for a base hit.
We're going to get either a pinch runner or a helmet change. Looks like a pinch runner coming on. Interestingly enough, with 2 down in the first, they will run for Lin Min out at second. Don't know if Lin may be battling an injury or
some more speed, faster. You know, you're in a scoring position, and it's the bronze medal game. If you have runners, utilize them. Get everyone in at every chance, because this could potentially be the only chance. So you don't want to take it for granted. So let's put some more speed out there.
Huang Fengjin is the pinch runner, and the first pitch to Li Xin Tian, the center fielder, is a called strike. Li, 5 for 17, couple of doubles, couple of RBIs. And behind in the count versus Analia Lopez. It's a little bit better from that rise ball.
I wouldn't be surprised if she heads to the bullpen and kind of works on that in between innings, because that's a huge pitch.
On the ground, back to the pitcher Lopez. She has time, underhands it to Rodriguez, and out of the inning.
Another inside pitch again, jamming the hands of the batter. I think that's going to be the theme. So this pitch, she gets it right inside on the hands of the China batter and gets herself out of a potential run-scoring inning.
2-0 after 1 at the bronze medal game, U-18 Women's Softball World Cup.
Leading off the top half of the second inning for Mexico, it will be the right fielder, number 24, Amy Cornelius.
9-1-2 hitters due up for Mexico in the top of the second inning. Amy Cornelius, and then back to the top for Jenica Silvas and Isel Avalos. Bunt, but Cornelius kind of didn't get the bat all the way out there that time, Amanda.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. She was hesitant. I want to do it, I don't want to do it, and just didn't pull it back in time. But nevertheless, that's a strike. So those are those little things that, you know, a bronze medal game, you almost have to be perfect, and now she's down a strike.
Re-enter Lin Min at first base for China. Shows bunt that time, and it's 1-1. Cornelius is 2 for 5. Slaps this perfectly into left field. And is it all coming together for Mexico here?
Seems like it is, too. And when you show a bunt twice, you get the defense creeping in. And you're like, okay, if she lays it down, I'm a little bit closer. But she just barrels this up. And a slap, you don't have to swing hard. You just need to hit the ball in the right spot of the bat. Hit it in the right spot. And she did exactly that. So Cornelius, being aggressive, finds herself on first.
Jenica Silvas hit the ball in the right spot last time. A rocket double to the fence. She then came around to score on the throwing error by Pan Jiao. Middle infielder's pretty deep for China. Bunt, perfect by Silvas. Nobody covering at first, nobody covering at third, and Mexico takes advantage.
And that's going to be something that they have scouted. And you can tell China is frustrated at that. And it's interesting because you have this second baseman cheating over, thinking she's going to get the steal. And that's where that becomes a problem, is when you are a second baseman and you cover the steal, you get fooled all the time. But what the coaching staff of Mexico has done well in scouting was Andrea Perez seeing that third base is open. So aggressive running, aggressive play, but they're not letting up. And you mentioned, are we seeing a different Team Mexico? And we have, because that was extremely aggressive base running.
Yeah, they've improved throughout the tournament, and a lot of credit to Coach Perez. And the one thing, Cornelius never broke stride. From the minute that ball hit the dirt, she was going to third.
And that's how you know it's something that they've scouted. It's a play like, hey, they might be covering second, but really what we want to do is get the runner to third, regardless of the out at first. And so really great heads-up coaching and then execution for Mexico.
We are going to get a pitching change. Joe Mung Wen has been knocked out of this ball game after allowing 5 hits and 2 runs. And another jam here in the top of the first. You talked about it's a medal game. You can't wait. And China will not wait. It will be Duan Yu Yen coming on to pitch, the 16-year-old herself for China, who's thrown well here this week, but definitely in a supporting role.
Well, that's where these athletes are at that age where they can have that supporting role. But hey, when it's crunch time, you need to go into whatever the situation is and act like you're that starting pitcher, because it's most likely if you're not the starting pitcher, you come in, it's going to be a tough situation. So the mentality there, they need to come in with all cylinders firing.
And really, China has only used these two pitchers, so it's going to be a tough situation for Duan entering here. She started the opening round game against Mexico and was pretty good. She went 2 1/3, allowed just 2 hits. So she'll look to shut down this lineup for Mexico before this game gets out of hand, which it has the potential to here in the second inning. Avalos the batter, runners at first and third, and Mexico feeling really good about their situation right now. Avalos shows bunt, notably nobody covering second that time, and we'll see if Silvas goes.
You can tell China's a little shaken up. Again, this is one of the hardest situations with runners on first and third, a team that's in a rhythm hitting and no outs, and they need to make sure that they're thinking through this whole scenario before the pitch is thrown.
Soon does head to second base that time, but it's ball 2 on Avalos.
And if you're stealing, if you're Mexico and you're stealing, you sacrifice that out to get the runner at third. And if you're China at this point, you try to get that runner at second.
Runner goes, they will throw, cut it, and stolen base for Jenica Silvas.
I don't think the throw would have got there in time, but that's something that they maybe need to be a little more aggressive at and see the runner's not taking a big lead. So I think China could have probably let that one go or try and get the out a little more.
Avalos shows bunt and comes up empty. It's 2-2. So the pitch on the stolen base was a strike, and that last pitch was a strike. Count is even. And Avalos will do it the fun way. Line drive to center, and it was hit so hard that not enough time to go back and tag for Cornelius.
She almost was returning to the bag as the throw was coming, and that's the downside of hitting a hard ball in the outfield. But nevertheless, again, good contact. When you have a ball hit hard off you, it's still an out, but you're still like, wow, that was hit hard.
Avalos can't really hit that much harder, and that was just a little bit from going right over the head of Lee in center field. So with 1 down and 2 runners in scoring position, will be Karina Rodriguez. Duan Yu Yen comes on in relief here in the second inning. And trying to get out of a bad situation. So far, so good. But she's facing the 3, and behind her, obviously the cleanup hitter in the Mexican order. Infield is in against the power-hitting Rodriguez.
And they pitched Rodriguez inside last time, too, and that's a heads-up play because she really has to work to get out in front of that to hit it hard and maybe back her off the plate and then go with something outside. But I like that they're sticking to whatever their game plan is against Rodriguez.
Wang Yari is deep in left, and it will not matter as that pitch hits Karina Rodriguez on the shoulder. And the bases are loaded for Nina Montenegro.
Again, those little things you can't be hitting batters at this point in the tournament, or really you never want to hit a batter, but at this point you can't allow free bases. You've loaded the bases with the number 4 hitter up who's been hot. It's a pitching error.
This is out to left. Wang Yari coming on. She'll make the catch. Cornelius bluffs, and it's a good thing she didn't test the arm of Wang Yari on that play.
She fires that home, and so be it. Some athletes tend to know that the runner's not going to go, and they just kind of lob it in, but we've seen Mexico be extremely aggressive. So that's a really good job continuing to throw the ball hard home.
So Cornelius is at third, Silvas at second. Rodriguez, after getting hit on the hip, is at first. And Analia Lopez doubled and drove in a run in her last at-bat. and has the opportunity to do the same. If China can get out of this, that's going to be a big emotional lift. It's a huge at-bat in this ball game. Lopez will crush it into center field for another single and another RBI. It's 3-0 Mexico.
Well, you talk about this being a crucial point in the game. Things can really just open up for Mexico, and Lopez does a great job taking this high pitch and just getting it up high enough, but hitting it hard again. Almost too hard where they can't score too, but again, Mexico, I mean, maybe they did some batting practice after the game last night, but this is definitely a different offensive team.
Absolutely, and Avalos hit that sharp line drive. Montenegro with a piece out to left field. First pitch swinging, Vieira. Kind of coming out of her shoes on that one.
Well, we've talked about, too, on and off the air of playing Team USA and what does that do to you. As a player, I know if I hit solid off Team USA, like I was happy with that performance by myself as an individual. So if you do well off USA and still lose, you have confidence to then go play China. And I think that has really helped Mexico mentally last night, bringing that into a bronze medal game.
It sure looks like it. Vieira down 0-2 in the count. This is sent out into short left center field, and coming on to make the play, Li Xin Qian.
Vieira putting the bat on the ball, again, a good thing, but that fly ball, but communication, especially when you're struggling, is good for China to get out of that inning. 3
more runners left on for Mexico, but they are ahead 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the second.
1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 runners stranded. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, Mexico leads 3-0. Leading off for China in the bottom half of the second inning.
So China does get out of it thanks to the pitching change and Juan. Meanwhile, Joe Mengwan is headed back to the bullpen. And if you've only got 2 pitchers, you might have to run them all out there a couple of times. Li Dan, 7 for 16, having a great tournament. Looking to get the offense started for China against Analia Lopez, who, old school softball performance, she's got 2 RBIs, and she's pitching on the mound.
That has to be so fun to say, like, oh, these are my stats as a pitcher and a hitter. What'd you do?
Ho-hum bronze medal, no big deal. Still a long way to go here, but so far she is the story of this game, Analia Lopez. Mexico with 6 hits and 3 runs, just firing out of the gate this morning.
Well, we're talking about China, like looking so amped up and ready to go, and really it could be intimidating, but it's what you do on the field really that matters. And Mexico silent, but they have come out incredibly strong.
The 1-2 bounced in, and we're talking about Mexico's game against the United States last night, and they knew going in, like, okay, we're going to be in the bronze medal game tomorrow, and they took that as absolutely an opportunity to feel better coming in. Conversely, China yesterday had a chance to get to the gold medal game and losing to Japan, and I wonder if that letdown could have something to do with the way they've come out this morning as well.
It could be, too, but it's also – and they played well against Japan. They had a great game, but it's also – knowing your skills and knowing where you're at and like, okay, we did well, but like that's not the most important game now. And so it's being able to reset.
Back up the middle, and Li Dan does it again. 8 hits here at the World Cup for Li Dan.
And that's how her hits have been. Not the hardest hits when she needs them, but just squaring the bat up, timing it well, and putting it where the defense is not. And it's not intimidating or powerful, but it's strategic and useful. And she's on first base, and that's what China needs to do, work one by one.
Zhu Yichen squares. The ball gets away from Tapia, and that will allow Dan to move down to second.
A little bit of hesitation at first also. The ball, it rolled slowly, so that was interesting. But again, China's going to have to kind of get a little bit more aggressive. We see the ball kind of get crossed up and linger away from the catcher, but that's when they need to be on their A game. And as soon as they see that ball down, they need to hustle to the next base.
Strike called on another one that Tapia didn't come down with. Now, Clarissa Mejia had done a lot of the catching earlier in the week, but Mejia's arm was kind of getting exposed a little bit. Tapia with a better arm back there, potentially Mejia the better receiver.
Well, that's where you think, okay, we need to utilize maybe strength over framing and blocking. But nevertheless, you want a catcher back there that can really frame those pitches well and get their shoulders around the ball or pick a ball.
Well, she received that one pretty well. And Lopez, you know, that's the other thing. We've seen it at all different levels. If you have a really talented pitcher, it's hard for a catcher to catch a really good pitcher.
Well, yeah, that's why those misses are so crucial, too, because
swing and a miss, strike 3. Lopez will come back and strike out Zhu for the first out.
And coming upstairs, too, which we saw her struggle in the first inning with that high pitch. Regardless of the catcher, she's able to get this ball starting low, spinning up, and a good strikeout pitch from Lopez.
So now Pan Zhiyao. First pitch swinging, and yes, there's another rise ball. Exactly where Lopez wants it. Change up out front, runner goes, and runner is safe. Li Dan steals third.
That's a great heads-up play, too. I was talking about her base running being a little hesitant. She saw that ball was in the dirt, and no hesitation, she went, and that was excellent and crucial because now there's only one out with a runner on third.
Fly ball should do it for Pan. There is a fly ball. Tracking back, Layla Nunez now coming in. Runner bluffs. Oh, how about that arm? Who's her coach?
She must be taking some quality reps at her college, but again, that's what's so tough is you want that sacrifice fly, and are you going to push the limit in a bronze medal game? You must have scouted Lopez. She has an incredible arm, and not even a hop to the plate, but a strike to the chest of the catcher, and those are the things that Mexico have really switched up from prior in the tournament.
So Layla Nunez will keep the runner at third now with 2 out. It's Chen Jiayi, the catcher. Chen, 5 for 12, couple of doubles out of the bottom of the order. And for both of these teams in the previous game, it was the bottom of the order doing the damage. Stringing together a few hits. Wow.
So we've seen Lopez really, I think, lock in. Loose on the rise ball earlier. She's locked that in. We've seen this inning, but really catching that bottom edge of the strike zone.
2-1, hit on the ground to her left, and a little shovel. Avalos gets her team out of the inning.
And again, that crucial low pitch, China's not able to get their barrel on it and hit it hard in a gap, so Lopez really dialed in with her pitching.
Stranding the runner at third. We go to the third. Mexico leading 3-0. Riley Palejo, 1 for 1 with a single. Fantastic speed. She's a really good outfielder. And how about this for the future of this tournament? A 16-year-old on the mound, 16-year-old in the batter's box. It's hard enough to do when you're of the age group. To do it as a 16 is totally different. This time it will be Duan that wins that battle. An easy one for the first out.
And Palejo being aggressive, and I like that because they're up 3-0. She has some room. But, again, if you're going to be aggressive on the first pitch as a coach, I'm giving you that pitch. You got to hit it hard. And so a pop-up is not the way to go. And we saw her kind of linger back to the dugout.
First pitch to Tapia is a changeup, strike 1. Fouled away, 0-2. So Duan has come out of the bullpen and at least settled things down a little bit. A couple of hard hit balls, but no damage. Outside of the single by Lopez for a run that does not get charged to Duan.
That's all you can really ask for a pitcher coming in, too, right? Coming in, team's struggling a little bit. Just get out there, limit Mexico to what they've been doing. But it's going to be on the offense now for China.
Count even now, 2-2. On the catcher for Mexico. She popped up to third base in her first at-bat. Change-up. Oh, completely had her guessing. And a strikeout for Duan for the second out.
Well, not only guessing, but off balance. And with the changeup, if you're off balance, most likely you're going to swing and miss. But not, if you hit the ball, it's going to go nowhere. So really great pitch and release point. And you see her kind of hesitate a little bit. And so I say go back to that pitch more often.
Cornelius shows bunt. Amy Cornelius, the number 9 batter in the order. She singled and scored last inning. And slaps this to the left. Same way she got on last time. This time it'll hang up, and Wang Yari will make the catch. And Duan Yuyen with a clean third inning, just what China needed.
It's exactly what they need. In and out. Again, keeping this ball a little off speed. Getting back to Mexico, popping up. Really quick inning. A great job coming in. Now, hey, offense, let's do some damage.
All right, momentum has a chance to switch dugouts. We'll see if it does. Sun Yue, and then backed up top, Wang Yari and Lin Min due up for China.
Leading over China in the bottom half of the third inning, shortstop number 6, Sun.
Sun Yue will lead things off for, or Sun Yue, excuse me, will lead things off for China. It's her first plate appearance of the game here in the bottom of the third. She had been at the top of the order, now down in the 9th spot. 3 for 13, 2 of her 3 hits have been doubles. First pitch from Lopez is low for a ball, but she's firing out there.
She has. She's firing hard, and she's hitting her spots. A few rolling balls in those earlier pitches staying up. But other than that, she's really been placing the ball on the inside portion of the plate well against China.
Evens it up.
And if that's something that China can't defend, they need to start putting the ball in place somehow. Maybe step off the bat or step off the plate a little bit. Play that small ball because they have the speed to it, but they're going to have to start making an adjustments. The third inning, they're just getting through their lineup.
Just the one hit, just the one base runner, or 2 base runners rather, for China. A walk to Lin Min and a soft single up the middle by Li Dan.
what you don't want to do in a medal game is get going too late. And so they're going to have to start to get something going soon.
Back to the mound, Lopez. She's hitting, she's pitching, she's playing defense. And that's the first out.
And she looks great doing it all. I always laugh at the pitcher's fielding, but you know what? If you can pitch great and a ball comes right back at you and you jump for it, not only that, no hesitation to make the throw. It's not the pitchers that need to kind of compose themselves. Lopez is bringing her A game all around today.
Wang Yari will look at a drop ball low for ball 1. Wang went down swinging to start the game. Donna Vieira is in tight at third base. Bunt, foul.
Not only offensively, but you mentioned the third base, and even the shortstop is playing more in than they have been the rest of the tournament. And so being aggressive offensively, but their defense has definitely changed their mindset. Staying closer, knowing that China's probably going to drop a few bunts or slower slaps, and so we need to be ready.
Hard on the ground. Silvas wastes no time getting that across the diamond, and there's 2 away.
And sets her feet up perfectly again with China having quicker runners. If she kind of lollygags and takes an extra step, that's potential for a safe at first, but we see her move to the left or to the right and get right around the ball. So again, good they're just playing more intense today.
Lin Min with 2 down. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner. Lin walked in her first plate appearance. Stranded out at second base. Tries a bunt. But it was a changeup from Lopez, so she was way out in front of it.
Almost a little too sneaky of a sneaky bunt.
The 0-2. That's right where you want to put that pitch. No chase. Just outside. So on the 2 strike pitches, they went rise ball outside, drop ball outside. Change up now.
I go up. Wow, you should coach.
I was a catcher ever so briefly. Three and 2 though, as Lin battling back in the count. Hard on the ground, Silvas on the backhand, across the diamond. A seed. 3 up, 3 down. The teams trade those in the 3rd inning.
And Silvas again really locking down shortstop. That's a tough play because it's a backhand. Her back is completely towards first base, but not a problem for Team Mexico's defense.
And Silvas will lead things off for Mexico when we come back for the top of the 4th.
In the 4th inning, the shortstop, number 12, Jenica Silvas, will lead off.
Silvas, Avalos, Rodriguez due up for Mexico. This will be the 3rd time through the order already here in the 4th inning. 6 hits and 1 China error. Also, we've got a couple of hit by pitch to mix in there. And Silvas is 2 for 2. She's got a single and a double. This will be the first time that she has seen Duan Yuyen. It was the single for Silvis in the second that knocked the starter, Zhou Mengwen, out of the game.
Duang's a little spinnier and slower, so she's got a tighter spin. The ball is deceiving a little bit. So Silvis, if she can wait a little bit, she can hit that gap to gap again and keep herself.
Off the top of the bat, thinking about it was Lin Min. She'll give way to Wang Yali, and they'll make the play.
She sits on it a little bit, but those plays are hard. Those spinny, like dribblers a little bit, because you have to charge the ball, especially from second base. It's an awkward throw, but does well fielding it on her right foot and just a nice, easy underhand toss.
Isel Avalos. First pitch strike, and this game is settled in. Both pitchers with clean innings in the third. And it is now 5 in a row retired for Duan Yuyan. Inside on Avalos. Avalos laid down a real nice bunt in her first at-bat, then hit a line shot to center in her second. But she's down in the count now, 1-2.
Which adds more pressure to China defenses. You can drop down a bunt and then you can jack one in a hole. Like, how do we play you? What do we throw you? So Mexico really showing everything that they have is good. It's
late decision to swing from Avalos. And that will be the second strikeout for Duan.
You mentioned Duan retiring the last 5 batters, and that's all you can ask for as a pitcher that you bring in a tough situation. And Mexico hasn't quite figured her out, and if she can keep this up and then China starts to put themselves on, they could have a comeback.
Corina Rodriguez, first pitch swinging. Look out, that hits our camera down on the third baseline. I want to see the replay from that camera. Because I bet you that looks pretty cool. That ain't it.
No, but again, a first pitch inside that gets turned on hard that way. So there's a bit of a rhythm or routine there, but nevertheless, a hard hit is always scary when it's coming at you.
Count 0-2 on Rodriguez. I think our social media manager, Olivia, would love to see that clip and post it. Coming right into your living room. Halloween's around the corner. Although, you know, we were driving back from the field here in Oklahoma City last night, and some locals already in the spirit. We saw some decorations, some pretty good-looking houses.
Yeah, everyone is a different world down here.
Rodriguez, nice play by Soon up the middle, and makes a perfect throw. 7 in a row now retired by Duan Yuyen.
Perfect throw and a really tough play. I just want to exaggerate. Going back for that ball when it's hit up the middle, and you have to take the right angle. We see that first step straight towards the bag and able to get her glove out, and that perfect throw right at the chest. Again, holding them at bay here, so they're doing really well.
Oh, it hit the stand for the camera. What do they call that? A tripod.
Tripod.
Brain's not working this morning. Off to the bottom of the fourth. 3-4-5 hitters due up for China.
Leadoff hitter for China in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Second baseman, number 11, Yali Wang.
So now that their pitcher has settled things down, it's up to the middle of the order for China. We're already in the bottom of the fourth. Can they get something going? Talk about consecutive batters sat down, though. Analia Lopez has retired 6 in a row herself. Wong on the ground to Lopez, and she'll make the play.
When you've seen a pitcher with how Lopez has been doing today, and usually those contact hits feel good. Not with Lopez in the circle. Again, she's throwing a great game, takes this ball inside off the handle again of China, and a ball at her is almost a guaranteed out at this point.
Li Xintian also grounded back to the pitcher. So for Huang Yali, that's 2 hits back to Lopez. Lopez has made 4 defensive assists on the mound already in this game.
I was saying earlier I'd like to see China play the small ball, at least to put the ball in play, but you pointed this out earlier. The third baseman is almost more than halfway down the line. So even if you put that ball down, your pitcher can field the ball. Your third baseman's 2 steps away from you. Like, what? China's got to figure out something to do now. Maybe work on a slap or a poke, but the adjustment is hard when Lopez is throwing the way she's throwing.
67 at the top of the zone.
That doesn't make it easier either.
That's one of the harder pitches we've seen this week. 3-2. Lopez is finding herself in some deeper counts now. If there's any criticism, it's not even the right word.
Well, when you start to hit those higher velocity numbers, that tends to happen because maybe you're not as controlled, but it seems like she's pretty locked in. You say 1 or 2 balls, nuh-uh, I'm coming back, painting that outside corner. And with that speed, it's hard to defend because you have the speed, then you can utilize the changeup. And this outside pitch is just perfect.
Real nice drop ball gets Li Xintian looking. 3rd strikeout of the morning for Analia Lopez. So Li Dan, who has the only hit thus far for China, is at the plate.
She's almost working the slow off speed. We saw her kind of pat her chest on that one like, hey, that was my fault. But they're going, each inning they've had a different approach. They've started outside in some innings and then come hard.
Dan puts down a bunt, avoids the ball, and wow. Put that on the instructional video.
Not only avoiding the ball, but the bat avoiding the ball. And again, with 2 outs, are you really expecting a bunt? No, but she's able to wait late, get the top of the ball, and you're right, get away from it and not run into it and catch Mexico off guard.
So just 2 hits in the game, both by Li Dan. And we're going to get an offensive conference. I don't believe a substitution.
A little bit of a game plan. Pumping each other up.
Zhu Yiqian struck out in her first appearance. Dan with some decent speed. But you're down 3, so what's the strategy? Do you try to get 1 here? Do you know, it's 2 outs, so I mean, you're just trying to hit the ball, I suppose.
Just trying to hit the ball. More I think of what is she throwing and how is the pitcher looking. Maybe if you get deep in the count, you can send her that way. She gets another chance at the plate next inning.
0-2. But with already 1 strikeout, I don't know that Zhu Yiqian is seeing Lopez all that well.
An adjustment I'd like to see is Zhu kind of come off the plate, open up that inside corner, but scoot up in the box. That way, if the speed comes in fast, you can take the ball to right field.
Rise ball at 67 again.
That also eliminates being fooled on a changeup. It's easier said than done, of course, but some type of adjustment needs to happen because they're limiting their runners and not getting them in scoring position.
Strike 3 called. Analia Lopez is having herself a day. 4th strikeout.
And you can see this curveball. I could see it up top. This thing breaks hard. And again, she's painting the outside corners in the exact same spot on both sides and fooling this China offense.
We are headed to the 5th inning. Montenegro, Lopez, Vieira, 2 up for Mexico. Nina Montenegro is 0 for 2 with a couple of fly ball outs, and she will lead things off for Mexico in the top of the 5th inning. And this game scooting along already in the 5th. Mexico leading 3-0. They scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Duan Yuyen has come on and slowed down this lineup, retiring 7 in a row. In tight for a ball. Coming up in just under 2 hours, it is the World Cup final between the United States and Japan. Have that here for you, of course, on GameTime.sport. Change up. Strike.
Good job going with that off speed. I like it. If Mexico does hit it, they can't get the power behind it. And I'd go back to back until they prove that they can't hit it.
Well, good call, Coach.
He said Duong has done such a great job keeping Mexico off balance and stuff. But what's so hard about a bronze medal game is both sides of the field need to really kind of be the best you can be. And
third changeup in a row, and Montenegro proves she can hit it. Dan tried the throw from right field, but it's a single for Montenegro.
And that's what we see Mexico doing. Their pitching's on fire, their hitting is there, and it's hard to stop them. And when you leave a ball hanging a little bit, Mexico's going to clutch up on that, and they've proven that, and that's giving them the confidence to go up there and hack.
Analia Lopez is 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. She had a single against Duan last time and takes first pitch low for a ball. Lopez now 4 for 12 here this week. And lays down a bunt on the plate, and it's thrown away. Oh my goodness, and it hits our first base umpire, Koji Okawa, which keeps the ball on the infield. It went off the glove of the player covering.
A little bit of luck, but Lopez gets way low, and you're right, spins right by the plate, and great barehanded grab, but again, taking an extra step, and there's just a lot of things going on in that play, but I think a little saving grace for China there, because if that ball doesn't hit the umpire, it's potential in the park home run.
The result, though, is runners at first and third, and Mexico threatening again. And I think we've got a runner coming in for Analia Lopez at first. I believe, yes, that's Katia Alarcon.
So China needs to be thinking here what happened last time they showed bunt. Second baseman went to second base instead of going to first.
First pitch to Vieira is a ball.
And what makes this even more difficult is with the runner on first and third, second base tends to come behind the pitcher in case you want to throw and have him cut it off. So this is a really tough play for China to be in right now.
Swinging strike makes it 1-1 on Vieira. Vieira's 0 for 1. She was hit by a pitch. Infield is shaded in, not as far in as we've seen, and as you mentioned, most likely because of the runner on first.
You do have to play a little deeper. That way it's a different angle to second base if you want to cover. Also allowing a potential double play if the ball is hit hard up the middle. Short and second can cover and kind of get out of it that way.
Popped up on the left side, and a pitcher's best friend, the infield pop-up with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that's definitely not the way you want to go as a hitter. You need to be able to put the ball in play, at least get that runner in, get the ball far enough in the outfield to do something with it. And so China now again getting out of this situation, but similar Now just with 1 out.
So that brings up Riley Palejo. She shows bunts and fouls it away. And instantly is telling herself to keep the bat level.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do with the runner at third is when you're bunting is pop up, because that is just not helpful. Not that bunting's the easiest thing in the world, but again, you're kind of sacrificing yourself. And if it's a squeeze, then you need to get that down.
She does. It's a fair ball. Palejo, nobody covering. The ball goes down the right field line, and we're just not used to seeing these mistakes from China.
And they just have not been in it mentally. Second baseman needs to know if there's a bunt, I'm going to second base. That is something that just needs to be a staple, and unfortunately that's happened twice. But also on the catcher, it's so hard because you want to get that out, but if you see that the second baseman's not going to be there, then you can't throw that ball. And it's so hard because any type of throw like that, again, is an extra run, but really good job from the right fielder getting to the line and being able to back up, and great heads-up play from Mexico.
That's 2 errors this inning from the catcher, Chen Jai. And a run scores, making it 4-0. Runners now at second and third, and we're going to get a pinch hitter for Mexico. Clarissa Mejia will come in to hit for Ava Tapia. And I like this move from Adriana Perez.
Really good heads up, and you've mentioned a few times, or you've been really excited about the pinch hitters because they've been the ones to almost clutch up most. They get one opportunity, and they have really proven the pinch hitter role, I think, to be a top-notch spot in the lineup.
Something you don't always see. The outfielders, everybody in for this conference for China because, as you alluded to, Amanda, just not dialed in.
Yeah.
And Mexico's forcing that.
They're forcing it, and they're not letting up with it, though, too. And what's on the line here, it's not just a win, but it's a bronze medal at the World Cup. And so the team bringing themselves together, you even saw them shaking their heads and kind of slumping their shoulders after that last throwing error. But it's hard when you're still young, and I forget this because they're 16, 17-year-olds, and it's hard not to get down on yourselves. But to be a team and see them come together and try to settle themselves down is really mature for this, and hopefully they can get out of this inning.
Mejia foul ball. Coach Perez knocks it down, but that's going to be E on the coach.
That's fine.
That's playable.
That's a ball she needs to have.
She's rubbing her hand. That's one of those that spins right off your fingers and leaves them stinging. Mejia, the pinch hitter, lifts this out. Tracking back is Suan and makes the catch.
Tough play. That's a really tough play. Suan's playing in because the runner's on third, and we saw her have a little bit of trouble with fly balls earlier in the tournament, but she does a great job opening up her shoulders and getting under the ball and then getting set in case that runner decides to go to home.
So now 2 out, and Amy Cornelius to the plate. Mexico would really like to cash these 2 runs out here. Cornelius with a line drive, stabbed by Duan, and she gets out of the inning one more time, limiting the damage.
Best way possible, throw it in there one time, right back at you. But again, most importantly, they're out of that inning, leaving with a good play too. So a little bit of momentum. Fire me up, catch a line drive. All right, you guys, let's pick at them one base at a time.
Couple of more left on for Mexico. Will that be a story as we go forward? Getting 4 off Analia Lopez is going to be a challenge in itself for China. So we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. China with just 2 hits versus the 7 for Mexico, and something that's glaring on the box score is the 3 errors for China.
I mentioned Mexico's errors this tournament, having 13.
On the ground to Silvas. She's been outstanding today, and she'll get Pan 1 pitch, 1 out.
And errors are what change games. And we saw that with Mexico. Their defense has tightened up, and we're seeing it on China, and that is what's happening, is those errors, mental and then physical, and not being able to kind of capitalize on stuff.
Of Mexico's 4 runs, 2 of them are unearned.
And that's a game changer. That really is, especially momentum-wise for these athletes.
Tapia re-enters the game at catcher for Mejia. And Analia Lopez on the mound, 4 strikeouts through 4 innings. She's allowed just 2 hits. And she's gotten 2 hits at the plate. On the ground, again, Silvas. Oh, she's putting on a clinic out here today, making it look easy.
She is, and I love the little double pump into the glove. A little style, but also it's her timing up her feet, getting her feet set. She's moving a little too fast, so she's got to slow the ball down. But again, when you're feeling good, that double pump, getting my feet set, it's like when you love the game again.
Soon Yua, the number 9 hitter. China has not had more than 1 runner on base in an inning. Tough way to get any offense going.
That also just shows how well of a game Lopez is throwing. I mean, east and west, the curveball, the screwball, the rise ball starting out a little shaky, but she's dialed it in. And when you can dial in a pitch within 1 inning, you're going to be successful. Then you're going to hit, then you're going to field the ball. And when your pitcher can do it all, man, your defense backs you up when they need to, and the offense is just doing their thing. Like, it's a whole team effort right now, and that's really good to see from Mexico.
Lopez, I don't think we've talked about this enough, also 16 years old on the mound. 3rd play of the inning to Jenica Silvas. 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. Do it again. She's had a bunch over there today.
Again, not necessarily routine, but it's the bronze medal game. What's important? Making the out. Again, unbelievable defense from Team Mexico.
5 defensive assists for the shortstop, Jenica Silvas, and she will lead off the top of the 6th when we come back. Back here for the top of the 6th, we've got a new catcher in the order for China. The designated player, Zhu Yi-chen, takes over behind the plate. Jenica Silvas 2 for 3 with a stolen base. And we're already into the 6th inning in a game that Mexico has looked to be in control of since the top of the first.
That's what you need to do in these games and set the tone early, and they've set the tone every single inning. And how do you win games? One inning at a time, and Mexico has set that tone, won that inning, and here they are in the top of the sixth.
2 in the first, 1 in the second. They've added another last inning in the fifth. And for a team that advanced to the super round on the tie-breaking formula, they are 6 outs away. Good effort by Lin Min. Mexico 6 outs away from a bronze medal.
Well, I like their little story, too, and then how they've come out today is like, hey, maybe we got here by chance, and, you know, some could say that, but, like, they are absolutely proving that they are the bronze medalist of this tournament. You know, there's never that underdog that doesn't expose themselves, I think.
Slowly on the ground, soon across, not in time. 3 hits for Jenica Silvas.
Tough play again with when Mexico's hitting so hard and then they come off with those slow rollers. We see Pan at third try to cut that off, but it is so far away and the shortstop's playing so far back that it's almost like just impossible to get in. No matter how hard you throw it, Shun does good at shortstop trying to fire it over there, but it's just one of those plays you get even more frustrated about at this point in the game.
She does play very deep in the hole. Avalos shows bunt. This was the situation earlier in the game in the first inning when Avalos put down a bunt and Pan threw it down the right field line. That's how Mexico got its first run. Avalos shows bunt again and chops it foul, 0-2. But I think, you know, if you heard conversations around Devon Park as we went through the super round, it's like, you know, people like, we think China's the solid third best team here. And Mexico maybe heard those whispers and said, we've got to play this game.
There's just been such a change in all the teams every day almost. You're like, wow, that team showed up. And then you're like, what happened? And vice versa. And again, besides Japan and USA separating themselves a little bit, this third place really was up for grabs.
Yeah, and with Canada finishing 5th, like they had flashes. Czechia had flashes. Heck, even Puerto Rico and Chinese Taipei had flashes throughout the week. That bodes well for this group going through as they move on to U23, to senior women's. Inside. They asked for an appeal, but she did not swing. Full count now on Isel Avalos. Hard hit through the left sides. And the first 2 are aboard for Mexico in the 6th.
Avalos has perfected that 5-6 hole again. Pitcher struggling. She's going to leave it up in the zone. But how do you hit the ball? You got to wait a little bit. You see her take her double step and just barrel the ball up. And again, we talk about China playing a little deeper. Regardless of that, Avalos has really placed the ball in a great spot according to where the pitch is.
So 2 on for Karina Rodriguez. And Rodriguez is looking for her first hit today. She was 8 for 17 coming in, 5 RBIs. She has been able to put the ball through the infield. So she shows bunt and gets down a perfect one. Pan will play it, and there's 1 away.
And even if you haven't been able to hit this game when you're coming in pretty hot, you're still effective. You're laying down a bunt, shifting the runners. And again, it's about getting it down. Doesn't matter what it looks like. This pitch is high, but she keeps the barrel of the bat above the ball and gets it down. And that is a great team player, especially when you don't really want to bunt in a medal game, but really good discipline getting that down.
Nina Montenegro, the infield is in for China. And that's inside for ball 1. Mexico has left a number of runners on base. Duan trying to keep a couple more out there. 2-0. Montenegro singled and scored in the 5th. It was on a changeup then. There's a changeup. And it's caught by Pan for the second out.
Good pitch from Duong. That's exactly what she needed. A little bit of a flare, catching them out in front, right? They've been dropping their barrel of their bat. And she sits well again, just her hands come a little bit out, getting a little long of a swing. And that third base has been on fire, so a little blooper to her. Good job.
Analia Lopez is 2 for 2. They'll start her with a changeup for strike one. Lopez reached on an error last time, but it was scored a sacrifice. And the count's 1-1. Lopez sends this out to left. Wong over by the line and makes the catch. So 2 more runners left on after Mexico has 2 singles to start the inning.
Well, you mentioned leaving runners on, and Duan does a good job having Mexico reach for these balls, getting her team 2 fly balls and out of the inning, but it's getting late. They're going to have to put some runs on the board.
6 outs to work with. China will be at the top of their order in the bottom of the 6th.
Leading off for China in the bottom of the 6th inning, left fielder number 2, Yarue Wang.
Wang Yari is 0 for 2 and leading things off for China in the bottom of the 6th. And this game has been all about that lady, Analia Lopez. For what it's worth, I love the national team colored glove that she wears.
Especially when it's right in your face as a hitter. You're trying to spot the ball in a green and yellow or a green and red glove, and sometimes they don't allow that, but
Two-tone, yeah.
I don't think color of the glove really matters. She has just been on fire today.
And gets in with a strike on the 2-0 count. Wong was 7 for 14 coming into this game. Slaps it through the left side. Silvis, get out of here. Oh, safe is the call. That was close, but full marks on the effort by Silvis and Rodriguez.
Full marks and a highlighter because this is an incredible play. She drops to a knee, backhands, and gets up. And a great grab at first base, but the fact that she was able to get to her feet shows how fast her footwork is.
And I think Coach Perez is coming out to get some clarification if it was foot off the bag or the throw.
Watch how fast she gets to her feet. Like sometimes players just stay on their knee, and she just gets to that back foot and whips around. And
safe is the call. No challenge system in place here. And that's what Coach Perez was asking.
For China, first baseman number 19,
So it's an infield single. However, it was a highlight play. So some life for China. The leadoff runner is aboard with Lin Min bunting back to Lopez, who took the time to make sure Avalos was there on the cover. A little different from sometimes we've seen China just throw the ball.
When it looked like the ball wasn't quite in her hand all the way, but again, taking your time, you're learning from other teams' mistakes, and that's another big thing for Mexico. You know, you see China struggling, like you said, and so I'm going to take my time. We're up by 4. Let's just get the out at 1, and they secured it.
So Wang Yali with a runner in scoring position. Just the second time today that China has had a runner reach second base. Foul at the plate.
Good spot on the outside corner, but they haven't been getting that. But, I mean, it's late in the game. Everyone wants to get rung up. And
that's off the plate. That's ripped through the right side. Coming on Cornelius. The throw will not be in time. It's an RBI single for Wang Yali.
And Wang, again, this is what she's done in games before where she was successful. She gets out in front of the inside pitch and hits it hard. And again, one run is not really going to put the pressure on Mexico, but you don't want to just roll over. So good job getting out in front of that and hitting it hard. Hitting can be contagious at this point, and Mexico doesn't look like they're really going to let down, but something like that can really be a factor and then be like, oh, we need to tighten it up.
Yeah, well, you get a call go your way, then you have a nice sacrifice and an RBI single. So now down 3 runs. I mean, we talked about it off the top. China had the second best team batting average coming into this game, so there's no reason in the world to think that here in the middle of their order they can't do some damage.
Right, you definitely cannot count them out, and they've been known to come back every single time, and they're in a good part of the lineup to do that.
Liliana Acosta is headed to the bullpen to get loose for Mexico. And it's the cleanup hitter, Li Xin Tian. Li has grounded back to Lopez on the mound and struck out looking in her 2 appearances today. So some life for China in the bottom of the 6th. That's a great pitch. Change up for a strike.
Just when you're feeling good, I'm going to throw you an off speed, pulling your head, bat dipping down. It's almost like you get one thing ahead and one step back as a hitter sometimes.
Just up. And for the first time today, we're hearing the supporters from Mexico get a little bit vocal. They want those strikeout calls.
They're antsy.
They can feel it. In the dirt, nice block from Tapia. That keeps Wong over at first.
Not only just keeping, she didn't like block it up and it hit off her chest. She was able to keep that in her glove. A really good block.
Low for ball 3. And the first sign of mortality from Lopez today. On the ground to second. Avalos to Silvas for 1. And they'll cut down the lead runner.
And that's trust that Lopez has. She hangs this pretty much in the middle of the plate, but she's trusting her defense to be able to get the job done. Nothing here is a routine ground ball, but an easy enough play to get it out, and that's fine. I'm going to allow these hitters to kind of put the ball in play, and I don't have to do it all myself.
2 down for Lee Dan, who's 2 for 2. A single up the middle and then a single about 4 feet in front of the plate.
A single's a single.
Looks the same in my scorebook. And this is a weak line out to Rodriguez at first. So Lopez will get around the run, and we're off to the 7th inning. Mexico trying to bring home this bronze medal.
For Mexico in the top half of the 7th inning, third baseman number 13, Ana Vieira.
So for Mexico in the top of the 7th, it's the 6, 7, 8 hitters due up: Vieira, Pelejo, and Tapia. Change up is a ball. By the way, the name Tapia, one of my favorite Toronto Blue Jays ever. He was only there for maybe a year and a half. Was Raimel Tapia, longtime Colorado Rocky. He was a fun player to watch.
On the Blue Jays?
Yeah, he played for the Jays a couple of years ago.
Is that the stadium that has the mechanical bull?
No, there's no mechanical bull. It has a mechanical roof.
Okay.
It's a dome. There's not a bull. There is a huge glove out in the concourse in the outfield you can sit in, but no cowboy themes in Toronto. You got to go to Alberta for that stuff. Strike called in the outside corner, and the count is even on Dana Vieira. Vieira chases, swing and a miss, strike 3 for the first out of the inning.
Really good placement on this pitch, and you can tell the swing is just off. She's not ready for it. She's so caught off guard. Those outside pitches are so hard from a right-handed pitcher because they break away from you. They're deceiving. Something thrown right at you, you have a better visual, better timing on it, and really places that well.
So Riley Pelejo, first pitch is a changeup for a ball. Pelejo is 1 for 3, reached on an error as well. Actually, they called that a sacrifice as well, so she's officially 1 for 2. And no doubt about what this is going in the scorebook. A loud single to center field, and Pelejo keeps getting better as this event goes on.
That's a great way to put it. Each at bat, I think she's going in the dugout and looking at pitch by pitch, reviewing it all, because she hits this hard, but could have hit it harder. But it just progressively has been getting better and better, and we see her on base, and she's a threat every single time. So really great performance this entire tournament.
Here is Ava Tapia. And full marks to Duan Yuyan on the mound. She came in the 2nd inning and has only allowed 1 run since entering this game. Bunt, foul, but almost perfect.
You're right. She's done a really great job in the circle for her team, and it goes back to those errors that you've mentioned. We saw 2 of those throwing errors on those bunts. Other than that, she's really held this to a close game.
Well, that's the thing. She's allowed to run, but it wasn't earned. She's got 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks.
Those are great numbers.
Absolutely. Another changeup, but out of the zone, and we saw kind of reaction from Duan there. She could be starting to get a little fatigued. Low for ball 3. Palejo, great speed over at first base, so rightfully gaining the attention of the Chinese infield.
Fatigue, frustration, overthrowing, all of those elements combined. You know, it's the top of the 7th inning, and you've personally done well. I know it's not an individual sport, but you've done so well in those little things. She's trying to overthrow now. She's trying to do it all herself. Understandable, but she just needs to go back to what she did in the 3rd and the 4th inning.
Bunted foul by Tapia. I'm sending the runner here. If I'm coach, I'm sending the runner. 3, 2, 1 out.
Send her. Worst case scenario, you're doubled up, bottom of the inning. Have some fun.
Not going. And is that a foul ball? It looked like she swung and it hit her, but must have hit the bat.
I think it fouled off and maybe hit her in the thigh. And
all good. We will do the 3-2 pitch again. Wow. A rocket back up the middle. And for Duan, good thing that didn't hit her. Tapia with her first hit of the World Cup, and it's a bullet.
it is a bullet, and she fouled that first one off and does well getting the barrel of the bat low. I think that's ball 4, but hey, you know what? Go for it. When you can hit a ball 4 inches off the ground that hard, then that's a great at-bat and a great first and last probably at-bat for Tapia, leaving this tournament happy.
Well, after back-to-back singles, we're going to get a pitching change for China. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the WBSC U-18 Women's Softball World Cup bronze medal game on GameTime.sport.
Your attention, please. Re-entering is number 39, Mun Wan Jo, as the pitcher.
So they will re-enter Zhou Mengwan, who started this game and was pulled after allowing 2 hits to start the 2nd inning. So for Zhou, she officially re-enters, having pitched 1 inning, allowing 5 hits and 2 earned runs. Duan Yuyen leaves after 5 1/3, 6 hits, 1 run allowed, but the 2 runners on base do belong to her. So it's 1 away, 2 on. Amy Cornelius will push a bunt foul, as Mexico looking for some more insurance here.
You never want to play it safe. Like we've mentioned a few times, China has always come back, but just because it's 4-1 doesn't mean that this game is solidified yet.
Tries slapping this time. Another foul ball. 0-2.
Especially when you come in and show bunt, where China's not feeling confident about, and a pitcher who struggled early in the game, it's kind of like, oh no, oh gosh. But come in here, Mangwan's up 2 strikes here, so the threat is always there when you have Mexico up this game.
Cornelius is 1 for 3. She hit a line drive back to the mound in her last at-bat. The 1-2 from Joe Mengwan. Well out of the zone, 2-2. Change up off the plate. And now it's China wondering where the call was.
That's a really well-placed ball given the count, too. If the hitter chases that, they're not going to be able to get a solid hit off it, and it's just outside.
Potentially a touch low as well. Time was called. And we will restart the pitch clock. Full count on Cornelius. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Joe comes out of the bullpen and strikes out the first batter she faces.
And that's a huge confidence boost for her, especially what happened earlier in the game, and then missing that outside corner. You know, she wanted that call. But going up and getting the first batter, again, you talk about momentum, and they need it right here. So a swing and a miss on your first outing back at it is a good confidence boost.
So after the strikeout, Cornelius will run at first for the catcher, Tapia. And we're back at the top of the order for Mexico. And Jenica Silvas, who's 3 for 4. And now has a .353 batting average here at the World Cup. Pardon me. Yes, a .353 batting average. That's a good spot, and it clocks at 60, but it seemed like it was harder than that.
That came in quick.
Yeah.
She's definitely amped up.
One and one to the shortstop, Silvas. Popped, foul, and out of play.
Going up towards the hands, good idea, especially I think they felt like they had her number earlier on. So I think this is a completely different pitcher. They're seeing their first at-bats and kind of forcing, like you said, it looks like it's coming in pretty quick. So going up and in, they're going to have to be quick with their hands to get on top of this ball and hit it hard.
1-2 count. And again, Silvas will fight it off to stay alive. Silvas had 2 hits off of Joe earlier in the day. She had a double in the first, a single in the second. And that's high and tight, bringing the count even 2-2. Change up, outside, ball 3.
I like that changeup. Again, the pitch prior to that was up in the zone, a setup pitch, changing the eyes of the hitter, then coming outside, and that's just discipline in the box from Silvas, so a really good job taking it.
Strike 3 called. Took too many that were close, and eventually one caught the plate. Silvas goes down looking to end the top of the 7th.
Mangwan coming in a completely different pitcher and giving her team just a little bit of confidence. Again, going up, going out, and then coming inside, catching Silvas completely off guard, and she knew that. So great job, Meng-Wan, coming in.
3 outs to work with, down 3 runs. Can China pull a comeback, or will Analia Lopez and Mexico claim the bronze medal?
Leading off for China, the bottom half of the 7th inning, it will be the catcher, number 8, Yi-Chen.
You know, Amanda, I never noticed that before. All the infielders and the pitcher come together at the end of the throw out, and they kind of did like a big inhale, exhale together. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, you're 3 outs away from winning the bronze medal at the World Cup. And I'm only saying this because I've been in similar situations where earlier in this tournament, they probably counted themselves out at a couple different points. And so bringing it all together.
Ju sends this pitch to deep right center. It's going to get down at the wall. Ju Yi-Chen is around second, and it's a leadoff triple for China. Hold the medal ceremony.
You can't count China out, and they are being aggressive, taking that ball to right center field, and Palacio and Cornelius kind of like hesitant. No one wants to go grab that ball. It's almost like, you get it. No, you get it. No, you get it. They need to be aggressive to that ball. This is the bottom of the 7th inning in a bronze medal game. Someone needs to take charge and get under that ball. It was a well-hit ball deep, but I think catchable.
Second extra base hit of the tournament for Ju Yi-Chen. Here's another look.
She's on her horse all the way around, giving it her all until the end of the game. And again, such a big outfield allows you to do that.
Yeah, deepest part of the field in right center. And a ball that just kind of kept going. And now we'll get a visit from Adriana Perez on the mound. And is it the old "this run doesn't matter, get the outs" conversation?
Yeah. You know, this run doesn't matter. It's all right. Let it go. I mean, Lopez has been on fire. So just go at these next 2 hitters, get them out, and then maybe another little breath before the final out and a bronze medal on the way. But that's, I think, the breath before as a team is important as well. Like, hey, we've got one more. Let's do it.
Pan Ji-Yao, second batter of the inning. The infield is playing ahead of the lines for Mexico. Pan has hit the ball to the left side of the field twice today. Once in the air, once on the ground. This time pulls it. Avalos will make the play. It's an RBI ground out, and the score is 4-2.
And exactly that. Avalos is playing more or less in that baseline, and she has to actually backpedal to read the hop well. And I like that from her. So she backpedals a little bit, and then an easy out. A run across the board at this point. A little scary, but sacrifice a run for an out in the bottom of the 7th.
So Chen Jia, who started the game at catcher, moved to offensive player. Take strike 1. Chen, a ground out to second and a ground out to short. And now down 0-2 in the count. Outside and low. 1-2. Analia Lopez on the mound for Mexico has gone the distance. 5 hits, a walk, 4 strikeouts to this point. Trying to entice Chen to chase out and low. 2 pitches in a row, but no dice. And just getting a piece to stay alive. Tough situation when you're at the plate here.
Well, there's so many thoughts going through your mind, not only about what pitch is coming or how to be hitting a ball, but at this point you start to kind of think about the whole tournament. This is your last at bat, you know, and how it's all gone. You can see her a little jittery, trying to calm her nerves, but
excellent patience though.
Exactly.
Not chasing out of the zone and protecting what's near it. Chen on the ground. Avalos has to go way back in the hole and makes a great play, 2 away.
Middle infield, like you said, putting on a clinic for Team Mexico. This time going up the middle, rotating her body, and almost an off-balance throw, but catching the ball. She tends to always flip her glove up, which is interesting, but nevertheless a great play. And those are always fun, you know, when you're winning like that.
So the 9th spot in the order, Sun Yua is due up, but we will get a pinch hitter. Chen Kushin will pinch hit. And not a whole lot of action this week for Chen Kushin, but an important bat coming off the bench here. Ball 1. Called strike, count even.
She's been in the dugout able to see a lot of pitches from the side, time it up. No, it looked like she knew she was going to be coming in, so that's good instead of just right off the bat. But
on the ground to second, Avalos boots it, and the game continues. The last out is the hardest.
Some excitement, adrenaline through your body. She's made some good plays this inning. And again, just taking her eye off it, trying to do too much, playing ahead of the out. And that, not only is that frustrating because you make an error, but you want to be the one to make the last out and secure that gold medal. And so we see Coach coming out again.
Potentially some of that all going through the head of Avalos as she approached that last ground ball. Well, it was certainly a makeable play, but now the reality is it's the top of the order for Wang Yari, and she represents the tying run in this ball game. Mexico has played an excellent game to this point. That was the first error in what otherwise has been an impeccable game for the defense. We led off this broadcast talking about the 13 errors they had made coming in.
They've definitely proven that can happen, but it's how you finish this tournament, and the errors are killer. We see that happening from Japan. But it's how you turn it around, and there's still time for China to do that here.
First pitch to Wang Yari is low for a ball. She singled and scored the first China run in the 6th. Strike at the knees, 1-1. Sun has re-entered to run at first base. Change up, ball.
Good take, too. You can see you're eager to hit. You know the changeup's coming, but are you able to lay off it, especially when it's out of the strike zone?
On the ground, up the middle, off the glove of Lopez, and this will leak into left field. And the tying run is aboard for China.
When you hit the ball hard, things are going to happen, and that is hit back at Lopez hard, and she's been fielding really well, but just hit so hard and unfortunately hitting off the tip of the glove because she's so low, bouncing off as the shortstop was moving over. So here comes China.
Lin Min already with a home run in the tournament. Takes a strike, and the home run was on this field, and it was to deep right field. Oh for 1 with a walk and a sac bunt today.
And she's got to be thinking base hit. Home runs, bottom of the 7th inning. I mean, dreams come true, but if you have that mentality, you're going to overswing. So lock in, just base hit. Move the runner 60 feet.
Shows bunt and takes a strike. The infield is well back, and that wouldn't have been the worst idea in the world. Analia Lopez trying to end the threat. High ball 2. Drama as we play in the bottom of the 7th at the U-18 Women's Softball World Cup bronze medal game. Swing and a foul tip, and I mean just a foul tip.
That could have gone either way. If she sits a little bit longer and waits, that could have been another home run out of the park. If she's just a little bit earlier, it could have been strike 3.
Swing and a miss. Mexico started the tournament 0-2 and have come back to claim the bronze at the U-18 Women's Softball World Cup.
We talked about Mexico, all of the errors they had leading up to this game, and they were picture perfect, pitching, hitting, defensively. They have really turned this game around, and Lopez really leading Team Mexico in the circle.
Analia Lopez with the complete game win. Allows 2 earned runs on 5 strikeouts and a walk, and she drove in a couple of runs herself. The support of the middle infield and a full team effort from Mexico to come take this bronze medal game and own it.
And I think that's really well said, Chris, especially the whole team effort. And when you try to play as an individual in the sport, you don't succeed. So congratulations to the entire Team Mexico.
Mexico claims bronze. All that is left for us to determine, yes, ladies, take a bow, is who wins gold, who wins silver. Congratulations to Mexico. Congratulations to China on a well-played tournament. We'll take a break. We'll get reset, and in just under an hour's time, it will be Japan and the United States for under 18 women's softball supremacy. On behalf of Amanda Fama, I'm Chris Abbott. Thank you for joining us this morning, and we've got so much more excitement to come. We'll see you back here real soon.